Thanks everybody for participating in this exciting live demo of our Passpoint situation. And you can do it for me. Yeah. And I wanted to especially thank Daryl DeRosia for doing a lot of work at the very beginning, because we actually started configuring the Ubiquiti Passpoint network right at the start of the conference, and there was a lot that needed to be fixed at the beginning. The DNS wasn't quite working. DHCP was a problem. We started off with 3 APs and added 3 during the first day. So a lot of things are happening. Lots of times taking the network down and up, kicking people off the network happened. I want to remind folks what we were connecting. So on the left-hand side, we have the main carriers like AT&T, T-Mobile, their subcarriers, Google Fi, Helium, and TrueConnect. So that's one category of connection we were doing. The second category I want to talk about is the WIDAS profiles, which a lot of folks did download. And then there's open roaming, which is on the top there, the Pixel and Samsung Galaxy phones where you could just click, so I'll start auto-connecting, and then the open roaming profiles that you could download. So we looked at those from our Radius records. This is session data. And so what we typically saw was that the cell phones did represent over half of the connections. Kind of makes sense, everybody's carrying one. And the WIDAS profiles, which are probably on a combination of smartphones and iPads and laptops, were most of the rest, but there's a decent amount of open roaming as well. If you look at the average measurement, if things were calm with 400 sessions in a given hour, maybe 50 or so of those connections were from open roaming, and the other remaining was a combination of WIDAS and those mobiles. I only have today the session data. I will come back and send out to everybody that wants to see it the actual device counts for those hours and some of the work we did there. Keep in mind that the data we're collecting is not just on the Ubiquiti equipment, but also the Mist equipment throughout the building. So we're seeing all of it through our Radius solution. I did want to go back and say that Scott McDermott helped take some of these screenshots I'm going to show for the remainder of this. And so we did have a quick look at the devices by spectrum across what was connecting to Ubiquiti gear specifically. So looks like 6 gigahertz was actually the majority of usage for people in this shop. And still a little 2.4, don't know what those devices are. And then looking at the support for Wi-Fi 6, 7, and 5, Wi-Fi 6 has the most support, followed by Wi-Fi 7, and then followed by Wi-Fi 5. So making the proper upgrades to our equipment. And the rest of these are more eye-charty, and I'm not sure exactly how to interpret them as maybe only for Apple laptops and the throughput they were showing, both up and down. And once again, this will be available for people to review on their own. And this just shows how many clients were on each access point. You can see that the ones in the front had the most clients on them together. And one thing I will finally note is that inside this room, we saw about 227, 228 people simultaneously connecting throughout most of the experience. So that's about it. Any more questions on what happened on this? Come to me directly. And thanks for playing.